Hello and welcome to this edition of Week in One. I'm Michael Appel. We start with this. The North Gauteng High Courts dismissed former President Jacob Zuma's bid for leave to appeal a personal cost order against him in the State of Capture review case. That's according to the Council for the Advancement of the South African Constitution. While he was president, Zuma had attempted to have the Public Protector's remedial action to set up a state capture inquiry set aside. When it failed, the court ordered he personally pay the costs. After Cyril Ramaphosa became president, he withdrew the appeal from the presidency's side. Zuma will now have to pay for the matter in his personal capacity. President Cyril Ramaphosa has shortlisted 12 candidates for National Director of Public Prosecutions. Among them are advocates Andrew Chauke, Glenys Breitenbach, Andrea Johnson and Silas Ramaite. Ramaite was the lead prosecutor in the Hansi Cronje case. The president has appointed a panel of advisors to guide him through the hiring process. The panel will now interview candidates. So far, none of South Africa's NDPPs have served a full term. ENCA's Aaron Bates has more.
They say a fish rots from the head down. It's an idiom easily applicable to the National Prosecuting Authority. And now the president is, in his own words, looking for a slippery candidate.
That is the last person we ever want to be captured. We want them to be as slippery from the hands of capturers as possible, because they have an important role to play.
3 months ago, the Constitutional Court ordered the president appoint a new NDPP. Historically, the president hand-picked candidates.
At the time, I was the Director General in the Department of Justice when I received a call, then President Mr. Thabo Mbeki, who just informed me that he and the Minister of Justice then, including the Secretary General of the ANC, decided that I should move from justice to become the head of the NPA.
Not this time around. Ramaphosa is taking advice from an all-male advisory panel under the leadership of Energy Minister Jeff Radebe.
The president or the ruling government needs to say, over the next 90 days, it's not just the one person that we're fixing, that we're doing a proper cleanup within the institution. We've had 10 years of compromised candidates at the top.
The integrity of the NPA.
The Democratic Alliance takes issue with the panel's chair.
He was at the forefront of the justice cluster during the worst parts of state capture and of the restoration of the criminal justice system. And he certainly has very close ties with Namtobo Jiba and Lawrence Mkhwebi.
In August, the EFF's Dali Mpofu was pragmatic about the challenges any NDPP will face.
Politicians will always put pressure, make no mistake. The question is, you must have the institutional mechanisms for someone to be able to fend off that pressure and for honest people to just do their job.
Whoever Ramaphosa appoints will lead the NPA at a crucial time. They will oversee complex cases linked to state capture and help or hinder public trust in the rule of law.
You do need, at this stage, a person of quite exceptional ability to clean out the stables, to restore the integrity and the confidence that the public has in this crucial office. There are not many people around with those qualities.
Aaron Bates, Johannesburg.
President Ramaphosa was back in Parliament this week. He reiterated calls for those implicated in the VBS bank heist to be held accountable. During the question and answer session, Democratic Alliance leader Mmusi Maimane asked the president why his son Andile received R500,000 rand from BOSASA.
This matter was brought to my attention. It was brought to my attention some time ago, and I proceeded to ask my son what this was all about. And he runs a business as a financial consultancy business. And he consults for a number of companies, and one of those companies is BOSASA. where he provides services on entrepreneurship, particularly on the procurement process, and he advises both local and international companies. And this payment, I can assure you, Mr. Maimani, that I asked him at close range whether this was money that was obtained illegally, unlawfully, and he said this was a service that was provided, and to this end, he actually even showed me a contract that he signed with BOSASA, and the contract also deals with issues of integrity, issues of anti-corruption, and all that.
Order. Order, honorable members. Let's listen to the answer of the president. Kuba President.
Now, on this one, I have made sure that I get the information as much as I can, and he is running a clear and honest business as an advisory service, as he has been trained with his business science as a consultant. So I have had no idea or inkling whatsoever, and what he has informed me that these monies were obtained illegally. And if it turns out, Mr. Maimani, I can assure you, if it turns out that there is any illegality and corruption in the way that he has dealt with this matter, I will be the first, absolutely first, to make sure that he becomes accountable. Even if it means, I can assure you, even if it means that I am the one who will take him to the police station, that I will be able to do.
Things got quite heated later during the same Q&A session. EFF and DA MPs started hurling insults at each other and almost came to blows. But when Achang's Andries Kloama and EFF's Nazir Paulsen joined the fray, punches actually flew before the two were held back by fellow MPs. For that little skirmish, Kloama and Paulsen were told to leave the chamber.
Down. Order. Honorable, sit down. Honorable Makaula. Honorable Makaula.
Never point at me.
Honorable Kaula.
Never.
Honorable Plawama. Honorable Plawama. Can you please take him out? Honorable Plawama. Honorable Paulsen. Sergeant Arms, can you please take those members out? Honorable Plawama. Honorable Plawama. Can you please, the protection services come in? Can we suspend the House for 5 minutes?
No, chaps.
Protection services.
President, the FFA government already outseen. No, but we can't be intimidated. No, President, they can't intimidate us. We have a democratic right to be here. No, President, I can't. No.
Real estate mogul Jason ROHDE is behind bars after being found guilty of murdering his wife Susan at the Speed Wine Estate Hotel in July 2016. He's also been convicted on account of obstructing the administration of justice. ENCA's Leanne Jansen has more.
Jason ROHDE cuffed and now a convicted criminal. He's been sent straight to jail for the July 2016 murder of his wife Susan.
that the evidence proves that the deceased, beyond reasonable doubt, did not commit suicide, nor does it prove that she had taken her own life. The court accepts from the evidence that the accused, beyond reasonable doubt, murdered the deceased. Mr. ROHDE, you've got to stand now. This court is satisfied, taking into account the evidence before it, that the state had proven its case beyond reasonable doubt, and that your version is not reasonably possibly true, and it is accordingly rejected. The court finds that you murdered the deceased and then staged the scene to give the impression of a suicide. Furthermore, in light of the nature of the injuries, the manner and the cause of death, the court finds that you had the direct intention to kill the deceased. I therefore find you guilty on both charges, on both counts as charged.
She says Susan ROHDE suffered months of trauma, anger and humiliation after becoming aware of her husband's affair with fellow Sotheby's agent Jolene Altersky. This love triangle, she says, ultimately ended in tragedy for Susan. State Prosecutor Louis van Niekerk has praised the police's investigative work and warns would-be criminals that justice will prevail.
We will find you guilty. The evidence are there. We are under severe strain because of the workload and the police as well. But I want to congratulate especially the Stellenbosch Police Detective Services. We've had great success.
ROHDE's 1.1 million rand bail has since been revoked. Sentencing procedures get underway on the 21st of November. Leanne Jansen at the Western Cape High Court.
Staying with the courts, Mortimer Saunders has been found guilty of the premeditated murder and rape of 3-year-old Courtney Peters. The little girl's decomposing body was found in a shallow grave in Epping Industria in Cape Town in May last year. Saunders, who was a boarder in Peters' home, was arrested a day later. As ENCA's Leanne Jansen reports, the judge had some harsh words for Saunders.
You are found guilty on count 1, that is rape on the main count. Number 2, you are found guilty on count 2 on murder on the main count.
With resounding applause, Judge Babalwa Mantame sealed Mortimer Saunders' fate. The judge says Saunders abused his position of trust and committed these crimes for lewd and selfish reasons.
He waited for her to die. His further action to get rid of the body indicated that he wanted to complete his plan. From his actions, he wanted to permanently silence the deceased. He wanted to finish what he had started.
Mantame says although the state relied mainly on circumstantial evidence, the courts are overwhelmed with such crimes where the lives of children are robbed.
Children are repeatedly deprived of an opportunity of being children. Their lives are interrupted before they even understand their own purpose of living.
Mantame also found that Saunders lied to the court and that he had in fact raped the little girl while she was still alive. The National Prosecuting Authority and concerned Alsis River residents have welcomed the judgment.
From here, we will be asking for a prescribed minimum sentence on each of the cases, which is life imprisonment for each, which means we'll be asking for 2 lives. We are happy with the outcome. It's a one step towards ensuring justice for Courtney.
I'm in heaven. I feel like I can give that judge a big, nice, fat kiss just to say thank you, because that is what he deserved, because he never gave Courtney the chance to live her life. She was just a baby.
Peters' parents have refused to speak to the media. Sentencing procedures are scheduled to get underway on the 4th of December. Leanne Jansen at the Western Cape High Court.
When Week in One continues, we find out why Gauteng health authorities are appealing to the public to help them find 22 mentally ill patients missing since 2016. Details shortly.